welcome back to my YouTube channel again. Today I'm here with a story that most people have been asking me to do about Julie Ward. Julie Ward was a British tourist here in Kenya in 1998. Remember zile siku ambazo Jomo Kenyatta, Daniel Arap Moi, that time alikuwa Daniel Arap Moi ambaye alikuwa ni president wa nchi ya Kenya. Na that time when the government was so brutal, like nobody could say anything. Even the police force feared the president to the brim, and even if there was an investigation that was going to happen, nobody could talk about anything. So this tourist Julie Ward comes to Kenya. Remember, by 1988 she had been in Kenya for at least 7 months. And being in Kenya for at least 7 months, Julie Ward had acquired a car that she was using to move around, going to Nairobi, going to Masai Mara. On this fateful day, Julie Ward decides to go to Masai Mara Game Reserve for a drive. And when she reaches Safari Park, Julie Ward, the car breaks down. Remember, they are going to Masai Mara together with a friend, a doctor friend from the Britain also. When they reach this place at Safari Park, the car breaks down, and this friend decides to go back to Nairobi, and Julie waits till tomorrow to make her car again. When the car is manned, Julie Ward continues to go to the reserve. Remember, at this time when Julie is driving around in this country, there was a little bit of hostility, and the government was still stabilizing, and Daniel Moi was people saw Daniel Arap Moi as a cruel person, and nobody loved the president at that time. Everybody was saying Moi was a dictator and Moi was not a good person. Julie Ward was 28 years old. She was only 28 years old when she died here in Kenya. And remember, at the moment Julie died, her father John Ward made more than 150 trips to Kenya. And she also used more than 2 million shillings. That's $2 million US shillings. That's a lot of money in Kenyan currency. She died around near Tanzania border, where she was going for a drive. And that time, the Kenyan police were trying to investigate this murder, and they were coming up with different theories. And one of the funniest theories they came about with was, they said that Julie Ward was killed by animals and set up on fire, because when Julie Ward was found, she was found amechomwa na petroli, na amekatwa kabisa mwili, and she had been burned to ashes in petrol. So at that time, when the Kenyan police are investigating this issue, they are saying that Julie Ward committed suicide by burning herself, or she was killed by animals. But Julie Ward's family from Britain, they say that Julie loved animals so much, there is no way that animals could harm her, because she was so careful. She was a photographer taking photographs of animals here in Kenya. There was a lot of corruption at that time during Moi'S regime, that even the police were not. It took police 1 year to just admit that Julie Ward had been killed by somebody here in Kenya. I'll come to tell you that somebody that killed Julie Ward during Moi'S time. She vanished around when she vanished around 1988 at Safari Park. Remember, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi owns land not far away from Safari Park, and she vanished around there. The moment she vanished, the word went to their family that Julie to her Britain family, that Julie had vanished here in Kenya, and her father decided to come to Kenya to look for her. Her father is the one who came and found Julie. Remember, the Kenyan government just reporting that Julie had vanished, but they wait for her father to come. He hired a chopper that he used to start searching for her daughter Julie. And that time when he was searching for Julie, we saw that he found Julie. He saw Julie's car down there, And when he went there, he found Julie burnt, and her body was cut by a sharp thing, a sharp razor or a panga. Contrary to what the Kenyan police were reporting, that Julie was killed by animals. Remember, if animals kill you, they will chew your bones, they will remove your meat, but Julie was burned. So the question was, who burns Julie? The theory behind burning is that the Kenyan government said that Julie committed suicide, and she decided to burn herself by committing suicide. Reason behind committing suicide was never known. At this time, after investigations and Kenyan government saying that Julie was killed by animals and suicide, Julie's father made these all 150 trips to Kenya and discovered that when the government was investigating all these things, they were being curtailed, zilikuwa zinafichwa. Hizo reports ambazo zilikuwa zinapatikana zote zilikuwa zinafichwa na serikali ya Daniel Toroitich arap Moi. Kwa nini? There was evidence that Julie's father found when he was investigating. In fact, before finding evidence, one day he was waiting for a car just around Safari Park. And when he waiting for a car, a lady walks up to him, slips something in his hand. It was just to look, akadhani, what is happening? Kuangalia, it was a note that was written, the murder of your daughter is none other than Jonathan Moi. Remember, Jonathan Moi is who? The current president's son. And at that time, Moi was brutal. If you talk about something like that, Moi will kill you. So when Julie's father finds out that it's Moi's son who killed, it's Moi's son who killed his daughter, he decides to go back and open a case again. The moment, like every time he was doing investigations, alikuwa anafanya investigations in Kenya, anapeleka report, but the MI6, they don't even act on the report. The MI6, they don't act on the report. It was discovered that Moi had people in the MI6 that were trying the best not to disclose that it was his son, Jonathan Moi, is who killed Julie. And the reports say that if you read the book, Ward's book, Animals Are Innocent, Humans Killed My Daughter, the book say that Jonathan Moi raped how did Jonathan Moi rape Julie Ward? In the book he says Julie Ward stopped just around there where Moi owned the land, Safari Park, to photograph. When he just stopped to photograph, when she was photographing, Jonathan Moi and his drunk friends, they found her, and when they found her, they molested her. They decided to rape her, and when they decided to rape her, because they knew if you rape somebody and you let the person go, she will definitely report. So they decided to kill her. They burned the body so that they hide the evidence. When all this was there, the Kenyan government was trying to hide everything. That's what Jonathan reports. Kenyan government was trying to hide everything so that nobody knows what happened and nobody ever knows how Julie was killed. But there was, after Daniel Moi's death, the former president of Kenya, after his death, very many people came out and were ready to speak. There are people who saw Jonathan Moi at the scene of crime at that time. Just after seeing Jonathan Moi, the body is found at the place Jonathan was. So there were many people with a lot of evidence who wanted to explain to John Ward what exactly happened. Because John Ward says Jonathan Moi was just a drunk boy who used to money to, he tried to run for a seat, failed, and that was what happened. That was exactly what happened to Julie Ward. And up to date, there's a lot of evidence showing who killed Julie Ward. But we saw Julie Ward's brothers opening a case again after MI6 detectives came to Kenya again. They want to bring to book the people that killed Julie Ward. And do you think after all those years, more than 20 years, it will happen? Because at the time, there was Mr. Choge who wanted to expose Jonathan Moi. Remember, Mr. Choge had married Moi's daughter called Doris. Moi's daughter called Doris. So when Mr. Choge threatened that he was going to say the truth, 10 years later he died. After giving a report, he died. You know, there's no way your report is admissible in court and you are dead. So Mr. Choge, who was Moi's in-law, also died in that report because the report was so sensitive, the investigation was so sensitive that any person that said he had information about Julie Ward was just killed and nothing will be explained. And that is how Julie Ward was killed by the people in Moi's government at that time, and there was no justice served.